You remember it, don't you? That feeling. Just you and the ball, no coach screaming, no cones, no pressure. No one telling you to pass more or stay wide. You played until the sun went down. Not because you had to, because you had to. It wasn't training, it was survival, a need, a fire. But then something changed. You joined a team. They told you how to run, when to pass, where to stand. You started training but stopped playing. You went online, and all you saw was do 100 cone drills, lift heavy to get stronger, copy this 10-minute TikTok workout. And slowly, you lost it. The joy, the instinct, the freedom. Now you feel stiff, robotic, disconnected. You go through the motions, but nothing clicks. And deep down you know you're not improving. You're just going through the motions. But here's the truth. You don't need more drills. You don't need more gym. You need to reconnect with the ball, like you did when it all began. Because football isn't about perfection. It's about feel. And if you've lost that, everything else is just noise. So today, I'm showing you how to get it back before it's too late. And I guarantee you, if you watch this video, you'll never see or play football the same way ever again. The saddest thing in football today, fewer and fewer players have a real connection with the ball. Not just technique, not just tricks, but that deep, instinctive bond, where the ball feels like an extension of your body, where you don't control it, you move with it. It used to be normal, now it's rare, because football isn't played like it used to be. It's structured, coached, overtrained. Kids at 14 are doing 6-day gym programs, wearing recovery boots, but can't juggle 10 times with their weak foot. And they call that progress? Let's be clear. You can't build instinct in a controlled environment. You can't train creativity with cones. You can't learn courage from a TikTok drill. Because football isn't a test, it's a fight. And you don't win a fight with a checklist. You win it with feel, with survival instinct, with freedom. Now, look at the greats. Not just their skills, but how they were built. Lionel Messi didn't become a magician in a training ground. He became one in futsal. Small court, tight spaces, no room to breathe. One mistake and the other team has the ball. No time to think, no space to hide. He had to feel every touch, every shift, every defender's breath. That's where his telepathic control was born. Not in drills, but in chaos. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't start with gym sessions and ice baths. He started barefoot on the streets of Madeira, dodging potholes, cars, older kids who didn't care he was small. No coach, no cones, just a ball and a need to survive. That's where his explosiveness, his fearlessness, his will to dominate came from. Not from weights, from freedom. Diego Maradona didn't rise from $1 million academy. He rose from the slums of Buenos Aires, playing on cracked concrete with a ball made of rags. No rules, no substitutions, just endless games where you played until you dropped. That's where his dribbling genius was forged, in survival, not structure. Neymar didn't learn Samba football from YouTube tutorials. He learned it on the beaches of Brazil, barefoot, in sand, with no shoes, no coach, no drills. Just rhythm, creativity, and the joy of beating someone one-on-one. That's where his unpredictability came from. Not from copying moves, but from pure expression. Andres Iniesta didn't master his close control in a gym. He mastered it in street football in Fuente Albia, a tiny village where he played for hours with no structure, just instinct, timing, and a need to feel the game. That's why, even under the brightest lights, he never looked rushed, because his brain had already lived it 1,000 times. This isn't a coincidence. This is a pattern. The best players don't come from the most expensive academies. They come from the places where football is played for love, not structure. That's why more talent comes from the streets of Brazil, the sand pitches of Africa, or the back alleys of Portugal than from million-dollar American academies with recovery pods and cone drills. Because greatness isn't trained, it's lived. And here's the brutal truth. Most players today train like they're preparing for a test, but football is a fight for space, for time, for dominance. In a test, you get the same questions, same conditions, same answers. You memorize, you repeat, you pass. But in a fight, nothing is predictable. The defender doesn't follow the drill, the ball doesn't bounce your way, the crowd roars, your legs burn, and you have 0.3 seconds to decide. That's when instinct kicks in. Not technique, not drills, instinct. And instinct isn't built in flat grass with perfect cones. It's built in chaos, in freedom, in play. But today, most players don't play. They train. They do drills, they lift weights, they follow routines. They lose the ball in games, not because they're slow, but because they've never learned to feel it. You can't win a street fight with a textbook, and you can't win a football match with a cone drill. So if you've lost that connection, that raw, unfiltered bond with the ball, don't blame yourself, blame the system. But more importantly, fix it, because the game isn't waiting. And the player you used to be, he's still in there, waiting to be found. Rebuild your relationship with the ball. If you want to fix your game, start here. Reconnect with the ball. Not through cones, not through TikTok tricks, through juggling. And if you think juggling is just for show, you've already lost. Juggling is the foundation of instinct. It builds rhythm, coordination, foot-eye connection. It teaches your brain to react without thinking, and do it barefoot. Your foot has over 7,000 nerve endings, more than any other part of your body below the waist. Barefoot juggling sends raw, unfiltered feedback to your brain, building real control, real awareness, real feel. Cleats dull that. Cushioned shoes kill it. So here's your daily rule. 30 minutes of juggling, 15 minutes barefoot, 15 minutes in cleats. Start low, build up. Keep your ankles locked. Use laces for height, toes for control. Eventually, it should feel like breathing, and when the ball comes to you in a game, you won't have to think. Your body will already know what to do. This isn't magic, it's neuroplasticity. Your brain rewiring itself through repetition. And juggling isn't just for touch, it's for courage. Every time you lose it and pick it back up, you're training persistence, you're training focus, you're training the habit of not quitting. That's why the best players in the world still juggle. Not to impress, but to stay sharp. Next, you need a ball and a wall. That's it. Some of the greatest players train this way. Because the wall never lies, it never stops, it never makes excuses. It's the purest form of feedback. Start with one-touch passing. Stand 3 to 5 meters from the wall. Hit it with your laces, control the rebound, repeat. Switch to the inside of your foot. Alternate feet constantly. The wall exposes every flaw. Bad touch, misaligned body, weak foot. It shows you instantly. Then move to two-touch. Control, then pass. Teaches you rhythm under pressure. Then wall juggling. Juggle, hit the wall, control the rebound, keep it alive. Use feet, thighs, chest. Do it barefoot sometimes. This is how you build real feel, the kind that wins games. And here's the secret. The wall trains decision-making under pressure. The ball doesn't come back the same every time. Sometimes it bounces high, sometimes it skids. Sometimes it comes back faster, and you have to react fast. No time to think, just feel. This is football intelligence, built one touch at a time. Find your football Ikigai. Most players are in the wrong position, not because they're bad, not because they're non-athletic, but because they've never stopped to ask, where do I truly belong on the pitch? Not where your coach put you at 8, not where your friends say you look cool, and definitely not where you wish you played, but where you thrive, where your strengths, your passion, your team's needs, and your potential all align. This is what we call football Ikigai, a Japanese concept meaning your reason for being, now applied to football. When you find it, you stop trying to be someone else. You stop forcing moves. You stop hesitating. You just play, and everything flows. But most players skip this step. They jump into drills, routines, gym sessions, without knowing who they're training to become. So let's fix that. Ask yourself these 4 deep questions, and answer them with brutal honesty. 1. What do you love doing on the pitch? This is about emotion, not logic. What lights you up? What makes you forget time? Be specific. Not, I like football, but do you live to dribble past defenders? Do you get chills when you win a 1-versus-1 duel? Do you crave the moment when you release the perfect pass? Does scoring and that celebration give you goosebumps? Do you feel calm when everyone else is panicking? If you don't love your position, you'll never master it, because mastery requires obsession, and obsession only comes from passion. Example. I love being the first to press. I get energy from winning the ball high. I don't mind the physical battles. I feel alive when I force a turnover. 2. What are you actually good at right now? This is about truth, not dreams. Forget potential, forget what you want to be. What can you already do better than most? Ask, are you faster than average? Do you see passes before others? Are you stronger in duels? Do you stay calm under pressure? Are you more agile in tight spaces? Do defenders struggle to take the ball from you? Don't guess. Record your games, watch them, ask your teammates, get feedback. Write down your top 3 current strengths. Example, I'm not the fastest, but I'm strong. I win most 50-50 balls. I'm good at shielding. My first touch is reliable under pressure. 3, what does your team actually need? Football isn't solo, it's about solving problems. Look at your team. Are they slow in transition? Do they lose the ball in buildup? Do they lack width? Are they weak in duels? Do they need more aggression? Do they need more calmness? Your ideal position isn't just about you. It's about where you can add the most value. Even Messi drops deep when the team needs control. Even Haaland presses from the front when the team needs intensity. Great players adapt, without losing themselves. Example, my team has creative midfielders, but no one wins the ball. We get overrun. We need someone to break up play and recycle possession. 4. What can you become if you put in the work? This is about potential, not current level, not past failures, but obsession. Ask, are you obsessed with beating defenders? Do you study Iniesta's movement every day? Are you drilling weak foot passes every night? Do you visualize yourself scoring in big moments? Potential isn't talent. It's how much you're willing to sacrifice to become someone. Example, I'm not the fastest, but I study Rodri. I want to be the guy who controls the game, breaks up play, and starts attacks. I'm training my first touch, my positioning, my awareness every day. Case study. From lost midfielder to unstoppable number 6. Let's look at David, a 17-year-old midfielder who felt stuck. He played central midfield, but never stood out. He wasn't the fastest, not the most technical. His coach said he lacked impact. So he asked the 4 questions. What do I love? I love winning the ball. I love the physical battle. I feel calm when the game is chaotic. What am I good at? I'm strong. I read the game well. I rarely get dribbled past. What does my team need? We get overrun in midfield. We need someone to protect the defense. What can I become? I want to be a destroyer, a shield, a player like Conte or Casemiro. His football Ikigai? Defensive midfielder. But he wasn't there yet. So he changed his training, started doing shielding drills daily, studied Conte's positioning in full games, added isometrics to build leg stiffness, played more 3v3 games to sharpen reactions, focused on one-touch transitions after winning the ball. Within 6 months, his coach moved him to number 6. He started starting every game, not because he became flashy, but because he became essential. He didn't change his talent, he found his place. Why this works. Ikigai equals alignment of passion, skill, need, and growth. Most players skip this and stay stuck. The case study makes it real, not theoretical. Viewers can mirror David's journey. Now ask yourself, where do you truly belong? When all 4 lines intersect, that's not just a position, that's your football identity. That's where you become unstoppable.
Here's where 99% of players fail. They change their training, but not their identity. You can do every drill in the world, but if you still see yourself as the guy trying to get better, you'll never play like a pro, because your actions follow your identity. Cristiano didn't become a pro after he succeeded. He became a pro before, in his mind. Every day he saw himself as one, and his body followed. You need to do the same. How to shift your identity. 1. Visualize daily. Close your eyes, see the version of you who already made it. How do they move? How do they train? How do they walk onto the pitch? What's their posture, their focus, their confidence? 2. Feel it emotionally. Emotion is the glue that rewires the brain. Don't just see it, feel it. Feel the weight of the jersey, the roar of the crowd, the calm in your chest before the game. 3. Catch the old you. When you skip training, when you overthink, when you scroll instead of train, notice it, then choose the pro version. 4. Act like him now. Don't wait for results. Train like a pro now. Eat like one. Sleep like one. Think like one. Do this long enough and you won't need motivation. You'll just be the player you always wanted to become. You don't need more drills. You don't need more gym. You don't need a 10-minute TikTok routine. You need to reconnect with the ball, with the game, with the kid who played until the sun went down. So go back, juggle barefoot, hit the wall, find your position, become your future self. Because football isn't about perfection, it's about feeling. And if you've forgotten that, now's the time to remember, before it's gone for good. Tell me in the comments below, what's one feeling about the game you've lost? And what's one thing you're going to do to get it back? I'll be responding to every comment.